My new book is here, The Quiet Blueprint of Wealth. It's a masterclass that teaches exactly what the title implies. Grab your physical copies on Amazon Prime or anywhere else books are sold, or download the ebook version exclusively at DaneMakeYouThink.com.
In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for mass incarceration?
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay.
No.
And as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Then can I ask you about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement is... Okay.
You want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere. Forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter, 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 Sean Carter.
So Nicki Minaj stirred up a pot last night. She started calling Jay-Z out for satanic, ritualistic things. Oh, it got real. Let's just read some of the things she said. Are y'all understanding that these people have been sacrificing children as a way of gaining and maintaining power? If you ever vote Democrat again, you're just as soulless as they are and will perish. Maybe it's time for me to do some story times, since I was trying to not say what I know, yet they continue to attempt bullying. Guys, it gets no more blatant than that. But in case you still don't know what she was saying, let's go to another tweet. She put, your favorite artist, so not just Jay-Z, your favorite artist, has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and unalive them as a form of blood sacrifice to their God. My Lord. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up. Guys, do you know how wicked this is? Not only that, but this is stuff that many of us have known for years. And the world called us crazy. Now somebody who was fully in the world, coming out of the world, is exposing it. Oh, it looks a little different now, don't it? We've been talking about this since Jay-Z wore a sweater with the #1 satanic commandment on it. Do what thou wilt. Do what you want. We've been talking about this since Jay-Z's song, State of Empire, where he said, Hail Mary to the city, you're a virgin. And Jesus can't save you. This is his lyrics. Jesus can't save you. Life starts when the church ends. Jay-Z said that. He put it in the song so you couldn't even really hear it. How many of us were in the world singing the State of Empire? New York! One of the biggest songs in New York, and this was in the doggone 3rd verse. Can you believe that? A mainstream song where a rapper said Jesus can't save you in it. Nobody heard that before, though, have they? No, not until we started speaking up about it. So he wore a sweater with the #1 satanic commandment on it. He has a verse where he says, Jesus can't save you. Let's not get into his other verses. We got a song called Family Feud where he says he told his wife the spiritual stuff really works. Well, if he's saying Jesus can't save you, and then in another song he says the spiritual stuff really works, what spiritual stuff do you think he's talking about? It's not rocket science, people. There's also a picture of him in the Masonic Lounge. Heck, we've been talking about this since he made a video with Marina Abramovic. And don't get me started on Marina Abramovic with her spirit cooking where she takes blood and wipes it all on the wall, making different words with blood. I mean, this video might get banned off of these social platforms because we're getting too real right now. I told y'all this man's empire was going to fall. He should have kept the Lord's name out of his mouth. He has a whole website called the Book of Hove, ladies and gentlemen, where he talks about his name, Hova, is a play on Jehovah. That's why he goes by Jehovah. Allow him to reintroduce himself. I mean, at some point, even people who like Jay-Z have to come into an understanding, because either you like him or you're on God's side. You're on his side or you're on God's side? Because he sure isn't on God's side. And sad thing is he took his wife from being on God's side, because we all know Beyonce used to be a Christian. She sung in the church. Nowadays, she's doing witch rituals, different sacrifices to Oshun. Oh, you think we can't see it? Oh, you think we dumb, deaf, and out of our mind, brainwashed? Is that what you're thinking? Oh, no. All your times are coming to an end. And I don't just mean dying, I mean being exposed.
When Jay was going after B was a very young woman. Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there. And he rented this house, and we were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play. And after the game, it had to be like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. Mind you, it's all adults. There was a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old teenage Latin girl that was there, and I think she had to leave because she had school and she had to do homework, but she brought her mother with her. So it was no funny business going on, which I could respect that. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild, like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me. So when I hear something like this happens, I can't really discount it and say, oh, he could never do this, because I'm hearing stories, I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and I've been in situations where something don't sound or look right, and it's usually involving children.
Jay-Z, we need an explanation, because this is not any random person out here hating on you. This is your previous business colleague writing Jeffrey Epstein in 2014, saying that you basically sold out the Black community. This is not Onika or all the people that you want to say are hating on you and saying whatever. This is Jess Saley writing Jeffrey Epstein in 2014 saying, you want to know why we are not Sao Paulo? Watch the TV ads on the Super Bowl. It's all about hip Blacks and hip cars with white women. The group that should be in the streets has been bought off by Jay-Z. Let me show you who Jess Staley is. This is Jess Staley. You know him. He's a banker. He's the former CEO at the Barclays. And let's look at your association with the Barclays, Jay. Jay-Z is deeply connected to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Having headlined its inaugural concert series in 2012, this man wrote that email in 2014. Opened it as a symbol of Brooklyn's revitalization because no one really protested the gentrification like they typically would, because Jay-Z's from Marcy, he's Brooklyn's own, so it was a very good selling point having Jay-Z be the face of this. And he even held a small ownership stake, around 0.5% to 1%, which he later sold, though his entrepreneurial spirit helped him bring the venue and the Nets to his home borough. This man said that you was a sellout, Jay-Z. Is there an activist group that was paid off to not protest or boycott this happening in Brooklyn? Does anyone know that? Was there an activist group in Brooklyn that typically would protest against these type of efforts that for some reason did not do it in this situation, that was bought off? Just asking questions. We need a statement.
You knew Sean Diddy Combs for a long time. You attended a number of his infamous parties. And in 2022, you made headlines after comments where you called him a sex trafficker. And in response, you were called crazy and jealous. Do you feel vindicated by the events of the last few weeks?
No, not at all. Because he's just the beginning. Until him and his cohorts are all held to account publicly and legally, the victims, they're not safe.
How bad was it?
That's what I care about. I care about the victims.
No, I understand. How bad was it, do you think, what was going on?
I'm going to tell you right now that me, as a woman who has been in the industry for over 30 years, I've been performing live since I was 13. My first handler was McKinley Horton. I come to find out 25 years later that a scar that was on his face with a very elaborate story he gave me was put there by a woman who he assaulted. To live through these things and hear your elders in the business, people like Patti LaBelle say, just avoid him, honey. And being taught to be just avoid him, honey. It's not good enough. Not when you live through these things, you're still suffering the PTSD created by all of this, and you're talking to a victim that's 20 years younger than you, and she's telling you the exact same thing that happened to you. So you want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately: Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
There's been obviously a lot of
cruelty-free artistry.
Right, there's been a lot of rumor mill about what has happened in the rap world. A lot of allegations that the misogyny in the lyrics clearly was based on a general misogyny towards women away from the music. And that clearly seems to have been borne out by these charges against Diddy, which if he's found guilty of all this, he's never coming out of prison. How dangerous do you think?
Thank God.
How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met. A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange. He was selected to be the demon that he is, to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to rape it for all of its precious jewels. We have too many lost. The list of lost is ridiculous, and everyone knows Diddy was selected for this job. He's the Judas.
Do you think that if he's cornered in the way that he's been now, that he may start revealing things about other people?
He has no choice. His ego and his drug addiction won't allow him to do anything different. Anybody who thinks he's not gonna talk is crazy. The simple fact that he's not saying more now only means that the people who have been protecting him all along, who put him in position to be such a horror to the Black community, still find value in him. He's got everybody on tape. They all know it. It's a mess.
For those who were never at these freak-off parties, what were they like?
See, this is the thing. Everything that I'm about to say to you is not my firsthand knowledge. It is my firsthand witness account experience. I was a sex worker. I was a dominatrix before I got my record deal. That's how I know how the dark world and the sex world and the entertainment world run hand in hand. That's why the movie Blink Twice is so important. Salute to Zoe Kravitz. The sex workers that I have worked with throughout the years and continue to work with even to this day have worn hidden cameras. I have my own tapes. I've seen what they do. The ritualistic behaviors, the drugging, putting girls in the suitcases, dumping them in alleyways. It's horrifying. And it's all done under the protection of, this is gonna be paid off. There's another NDA. This is gonna be, it's terrible.
It seems to have been something that a lot of people knew about, but people were simply too scared to talk about.
Everyone knows. And every person that's sitting there trying to act surprised knows very well. The whole point of this, like Cat Williams said when he sat with Shay Shay earlier this year, the whole point of this is for them in a coordinated effort to pretend like none of it is real for the public's perception. But everyone knows what's going on, and it's been going on for years. It's been going on before Diddy. See, people keep looking at him like he's the Sputnik that came out of nowhere. This is someone who was designed to be what he is. We got to stop making Diddies. And if we're going to do that, then we got to go back. We got to go back to even further, the mentors of these people. Because Diddy was taught how to do what he does systematically, and Clive Davis has been his greatest teacher.
Look, Clive Davis is not here to respond to that, nor is Jay-Z. But a lot of people, famous people in the music industry, have been notable, like I say, by their silence so far. It's also been notable that since the Me Too campaign began in 2017, the music industry has largely avoided the same scrutiny that other industries have had. Why do you think that is?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Since Me Too began in 2017, the music industry has largely avoided the same kind of scrutiny that other industries have had. Why do you think that is?
Well, because the Me Too movement was a ruse. It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
Jaguar,
guess they're on vacation.
If this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim Porter?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Piers.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know. I'm just being honest with you.
You're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter,
yes.
A new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more. I am friends with Albie Shore. I love him. I love his children. I knew Kim. We used to all hang out together at the Kit Kat Club back in the mid-90s when Diddy was first starting his reign. I watched that whole thing happen. And everything that Albert has been through, every attempt on his life that has been ignored by the authorities, it all leads back to Diddy, and everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting AirTag on children during visits. These are normal practices that these people do. 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 These people do.
The shocking allegations levelled at Sean Diddy Combs have burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harboured a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures were involved too. Well, last week I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
What are your thoughts on Jaguar Wright being mentioned all over national news?
Not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well.
The thing about her is, like, sometimes there's a lot of truth to what she's saying based on my personal experience. I'm not going to say she's completely accurate all the time, but some of the things she said were things that I was actually thinking, but I was like, I could never say that because people would say I'm hating. But I know for a fact that, you know, the thing she said, like the thing they all have in common is, you know, R. Kelly and Puff and the Weinstein and Epstein. When someone gets on a national platform like that and it's said where everyone, I guess now he's going to have to regulate that.
How you feeling, sir? How you feeling? You want to know exactly how I'm feeling? Yes, sir. I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. Yes. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Bart.
They met on Saturday before. They met on Saturday.
They met with our witness. And then the man came back, and I sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want, listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this, and I know exactly what the public out here will say. Don't talk. You will say, I say this because I'm a father. See, I am a father of thousands around the world. I'm a father of my kids, but a spiritual father to many. And I don't make stupid allegations because I got nothing better to do. You all have been bartering and trading the souls of young black and brown men in this country. And I'm calling on all the umbrellas. I'm calling on everybody in this country to begin to rise up because your sons have been done dirty.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Amen. Real talk. That's right. Real talk, word.
Over.
Amen.
It's not over.
Real talk,
God does not lose.
Never.
And even though we have come to this juncture, trust me, you will see that our God does not fail.
This is not the
I know
That's right.
that this is wickedness.
That's right.
This district attorney, Miss Kathy Ta, is the same one that's witnessed or knew that 5 sheriff's deputies in LA County beat up a Spanish man with the last name Carrillo until the guy was beaten to and passed out. ABC News interviewed that man after Eyewitness News, and he said, I thought I would never be here to see my child born, and I would never been able to be around to see my other child rise up. But I'm telling you, this court system is not for justice. It's about wins and losses, and they do dirty to do whatever they can. Jay-Z, let me speak to you.
He has kids.
Rock Nation, because my son refused to sign a Rock Nation deal with you.
Yes.
And Desiree Perez, you wicked witch, you snitch.
Yes.
You turned on your co-conspirators, all the whole mafia, one of you that was peddling drugs in this country, and you rolled on them before so the Fed could give you a deal.
Now you think it's
all of you, trust me, I have intercessors, prayer warriors around the world, and they will not stop until you are cut off.
Yes.
No, we don't shoot you with guns, but we know exactly how to bring you down in the spirit.
Says she spent nearly 2 weeks in mental health institutions for no legitimate reason.
She claims in a recently filed lawsuit that it was all orchestrated by her own mother, and others who should have protected her failed her.
NBC6 investigative reporter Amy Viteri has her story.
So legally, I can't go home.
No, you cannot.
Why?
Because you're being Baker acted.
Body camera video shows the moments Broward deputies encouraged Demore Hadley to get into this pickup truck with people she says she didn't know.
I can ride with you and you guys take me?
You're going to be in handcuffs, so dog's not going to be able to come?
I don't want to be handcuffed.
Okay.
Demore says they took her to a hospital for a mental health evaluation after this doctor signed paperwork saying she was a risk to herself.
What he told me was, we received a call from your family that you tried to OD the night before.
A doctor she says she'd never met before. And according to Demore, it's her own mother who's behind it. In this lawsuit, she claims her mother, Desiree Perez, used unlawful means to have Demore falsely detained under Florida's Baker Act and Marchman Act.
So she's the CEO of Rock Nation, a company that she owns along with Sean Carter, the famous rapper Jay-Z.
The complaint alleges a conspiracy, saying Perez used her money, power, and influence to tear apart Demore and her husband, Javon Hadley, and created an enterprise of individuals to effectuate her plot.
To essentially try to separate me from my husband and to falsely accuse him of domestic violence.
Perez has repeatedly denied these allegations in court filings. A month before Demore filed her complaint, we found her mother filed her own lawsuit against Demore's husband, Javon, citing evidence Perez says he has abused her daughter for years, something the couple has denied in court records. In that lawsuit, Desiree Perez says she moved to Baker Act her daughter, fearing she was at risk of suicide and abusing prescription drugs.
I haven't seen anything in my entire 20 years of practicing law that it is so clear that someone did something wrong.
Attorney Hilton Napoleon is representing Demore in the lawsuit, which claims Perez harassed the couple for years, including making unfounded claims to get Javon arrested on multiple occasions for battery and domestic violence, charges prosecutors did not pursue.
The state attorney's office wrote a 11-page scathing closeout memoranda, which basically said that her mother made false allegations to the police.
In this closeout memo, a prosecutor with the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office cites Demore's lack of cooperation and raises concerns about some of the evidence and how it was obtained. The prosecutor also wrote Demore was wrongfully Baker Acted last year, something her mother's attorney disputes in this letter challenging many of the memo's other conclusions.
I have 3 different collateral sources of information that say that she's been acting psychotic, that she threatened to overdose yesterday.
Demore's lawsuit alleges her mother conspired with prominent psychiatrist Dr. Daniel Bober, seen here in body camera video, and others to have Demore committed for a mental health evaluation. Bober cites supporting evidence from her family and diagnosed Demore with an unspecified psychosis. He ordered she be taken to Memorial Regional Hospital, where he is chief of psychiatry, and where results from drug tests taken upon admission were negative, according to records Demore shared with us.
They told me your tox screens came out negative, and I go, I know, I don't do drugs.
In a statement, Dr. Bober's attorney said Demore was placed under the Baker Act for 38 hours due to the potential risk of imminent harm she posed to herself, adding failing to take appropriate action would have been a breach of Dr. Bober's ethical and professional obligations. While Demore was at Memorial, her mother further petitioned to have her transported to a different facility under Florida's Marchman Act, claiming again in court records that Demore suffered from severe drug abuse. A judge granted that petition.
They ran the tests. They knew that she had no drugs in her system and she was not abusing drugs. And the fact that you can't do anything about it is scary.
Demore was sent to this treatment center in Deerfield Beach, where Dr. Bober serves as medical director.
Where are the people that are supposed to protect me from this happening?
According to her lawsuit, Demore requested a hair follicle test at that facility called Life Skills, which detects drug use for at least the past 3 months, and which showed no drugs had been in Demore. Demore was held at Life Skills until April 8th. She shared discharge paperwork that lists a diagnosis of persistent depressive disorder, which she disputes. No medication was prescribed.
Jay-Z, H to the Izzo, V to the is a, Jehovah God. That's what he calls himself. He believes that he is God, and he believes that Jesus Christ is not the Son of God. He believes that the black man is God. His clothing line is called Rockaware. Rockaware. Sean John. But this is Jay-Z, and he had an album called The Black Album, and of course these guys release songs, you know, underground, and they do this kind of stuff, and we just happen to come across a very disturbing song by brother Jay-Z. It's a song that he actually recorded and has a backwards message in it, and we had to reverse the song and play the song backwards to get this message for you. Y'all remember back when the heavy metal folks used to do that? And they would put the backwards max messages in their music, and they'd say that your subconscious was smart enough, that right brain was smart enough to decode and flip that message, so by the time it got to the left side of your brain, you understood it, and you didn't even know you understood it. You just acted it out. Because they had the song called Another One Bites the Dust, Queen. Played it backwards, it said, I like to smoke marijuana. Yeah, and then they interview kids, and kids say when they listen to it, they just want to get high. They just want to smoke weed, and they had no idea that that message was being reversed in their minds and causing them to want to do that. Isn't that weird? God made us smart. Look at somebody say, you smart? So I don't care what they say about you. This brother has a very disturbing message in this song. I'm gonna let y'all hear it. Can I let y'all hear it? Y'all listen.
6, 6, 6. Murder, murder, Jesus. 6, 6, 6.
666, murder, murder, Jesus. This made you feel kind of funny, didn't it? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Believable. Believable. Believable.
OCO, free thinkers.
I make you think, yeah. I make you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you think, yeah. I made you think, yeah. I made you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you
He's
think.
here to make you think.
I make you think, yeah. I make you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you think, yeah. I made you think, yeah. I made you think, I make you think,
It's Dane Calloway.